Hey, welcome back to Sling Caper. Well, there's a number. I don't know if it's a good idea to keep working while it says that, but I suppose I've got to keep working to get to the next one. So on we go. This is what I've been doing. Well, the bottom keel just sits there just while I wait for the bottom bracket, which goes up under here. And Sling agree that I need the new one. They're getting a little bit toey with us saying that, oh, we're trying to get ours out quicker than everyone else. Well, that's a bit of a cheat personally, I think, because this was paid for over a year ago. If they'd sent the right stuff out to begin with, it wouldn't be an issue. Anyhow, I've put this here on. Didn't fit great, but this is sort of the best way I could get it to go. I had to bend this slightly to get it to fit in behind. On the other side, I've had to put it on the outside. It's the only way I can get everything to line up. And because the fillets in these welds get in the way of the washer, I've had to just file the washer a bit to fit better. And I find it fits better without a washer on the top. So I've just put the cap screw straight in. And it also gives me a bit more grip, I guess, on the bottom of the bolt rather than it just sitting flush, which I don't really like. That one there doesn't sit particularly well, so I'm going to do a little bit with that to get that to sit a little bit better, but the rest of it's looking pretty good. And I can also get that hose to do its right thing. It might be just a whisk along, so I'll chop it shortly, but I don't have any clamps. There was supposed to be a box of clamps coming with the kit too, and that never happened. And just, you know, it's just one of those things is that Sling loves shortchanging, and it wasn't supplied, and I just can't be bothered arguing with them, so I'll just buy some more. This bit here's Deja vu all over again, marking off to put the cam lock fasteners in here. And I had to drill them all out. At least they're all countersunk ready to go, so I'll just stick them in as I go, so I can just rinse and repeat. Meantime, I'm just working a little bit on here. This is the bit that I've had to extend because the cowl they sent me was cut too short, so I've had to extend it out. That's a real pain, but we're coming to expect it. Another day, a few more frustrations. So this bracket turned up, which was good to see. We were told by someone up there that we could use the old one, which is totally incorrect. Of course, this here, the drill pattern's designed so you can't put it on upside down. So when you do put it upside down, it doesn't fit. More so, there's a bigger gap here. It drops down a bit further. And these drill holes here for the cam lock, they're asymmetric. So only comes out a little bit this side and a long way that side. So you have to have the right one. So anyhow, that's that. I've started playing around with this. Haven't figured out a good way yet of transferring the holes from the mount to the spat. And same goes for that one there. We got this kit, the Firewall Ford kit. Turns out that the fuel hose was subject to a service bulletin which came out in July. So the annoying thing is that this is all made out of rubber, because I made it out of rubber simply because that's what we had, but it's all got to go in the trash. So what I'm going to do now is come up with a system to make this out of Teflon. I have to change this. This is the jetted T-piece fits in here. So that's going to have to be something different. I've got to come up with a system for that. I think I've got something sorted in my head. Got to see if it works in practice. It'll be much easier at home on my lathe, but I'll do it here in the cafe instead. Hopefully, we'll see. Because the bracket was different, the holes that I had drilled in here for the cam locks are now in the wrong place. So I've already moved one, and now I've got to fill this in and move this one, so that's going to happen very shortly. I have managed to do a little bit here. I've got some cam lock holes sorted out for this thing, and I can start thinking about putting in that centre vent. And we did actually manage to extract some hinge out of Sling after a few complaints, so I can work on those doors as well. Another annoyance was we got this clamp here shipped to us, but the part number was supposed to be S06, and on here it is 006. So I suspect that this fella here is for a 915 engine, because it needs to be about this round, and it's huge. but we're just getting used to this stuff. Okay, so I've got the two bottom cowl fasteners installed, and the bottom cowl seems to be in the middle of the nose gear strut. And so now it's time to trim the side here. So I've just done the old tape trick and marked it just starting at the bottom, because this all presses up and it will change how it fits up the top. So just about to trim. Where's my finger gone? Oh, it's still on the end of my hand. Just about to trim that piece and see how it goes. What we got was this here, and that's been waiting since, well, about a year ago, so it's nice to actually finally get it. It's the cover for the parachute cover, and the only thing we don't have is there's supposed to be a composite block that attaches to here, so when the rocket fires, it doesn't punch a hole in the skin, but rather pulls the whole skin out with it. With that said, Sling have stitched up the BRS agency here in South Africa, so you have to buy it through them. We're sick of dealing with Sling, so it probably won't get a parachute. Anyhow, that's where we're at. But it's nice to have the skin, and we'll be able to close it up. Well, the job at hand is putting that onto there, and I'd scratched my head a little bit to try and figure out how to drill these holes in the right spot. I'd tried a hole duplicator on the other side, and all that did was make me miss it by about 5mm, which is a real pain, and you can see that on there, so I'm going to have to bog that one. But then I came up with this as a solution, and I just made a sharpened, let's see if I can focus on that. I just made a sharpened 5mm bolt, just cut the head off and then filed it into a point. And now with just putting the piece on over the top, I just hold that with my hand on the back a little bit, tap it with the persuader, and it makes a nice little indent, and I can drill through, and it seems to have worked out quite well so far. So let's see how this one's going to go. You do get good at taking it off and putting it back on, taking it off, put it back on, take it off, put it back on, take it off. Okay, it's the dark side of the moon here a little bit, but we'll see how we go. I've got it pretty much where I think it needs to be. All of the other 3 screws are in, so it should be relatively easy anyhow. So a little bit of left-handed tapping needs to be about there. This one's got a bit of a gap to where it needs to go, and we can see the little indent coming through here. So that is where I need to drill it. So looking at the inside, you can see that indent there, and that's where I've got to drill through. So I just use a 90-degree drill just to start from this side really small and then drill it up to the correct size. So just going to pop this through here. And there's my drill hole. So that's 5mm. I'll probably up it to 5.5 just to make it a little bit easier to get things in and out. But that should do the trick. And there it is. So yeah, pretty simple gizmo. Just a 5mm screw with the top cut off and sharpened up. It seems to make life a lot easier. 678 hours, Cowl Mark II continues. So this is what I think's happened with the cowl. Unfortunately, lawyers have got involved with all this carry on now, and so I think Sling just needed to keep us appeased, because we were told that we were going to have to wait 2 months since they were only making 2 a week, and they were somewhat behind. And I think they managed to find one, but the problem was, I suspect that it had been cut for another project, and they realised they'd cut it too small, and it was obviously just lying around, and they grabbed it and sent it to us just to keep us appeased. So I think that's why we had the slightly small bit. Showing you on this side how this was cut too small here, and I've added quite a bit in here. It does need some more sanding and everything just to tidy that up. But generally, once I push that, into the right place, then you can see that it's pretty much cut to the line there. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a silly design, because this bottom bit tapers out, so it makes it difficult to get the top on. But anyway, irrespective of that, we come around this side. Uh-oh, it's way short, right? And I think probably what's happened is that in the factory, they might have some jig to cut to this line, and somebody's mistakenly gone to the top of this flange instead of the bottom, and they've cut it to that, and then they've put it on and gone, oh, bugger. So this is the one we've got. So I'm going to have to go to heroic measures to making this fit. So that's just great. But anyway, at least we've got something, and we'll just keep going. We go after I've put a couple of cam locks in holding the bottom, and so that cowl now is as close as it could ever be. I couldn't make it any closer from trimming the bottom or pushing the top down. So that's it. As it's arrived on the other side, we can see that there's the line there. If I push that in, it almost meets. I think I'm still going to have to add a little bit, but that's pretty close. This side, country mile out. One would hope that this is not the standard way that Sling will supply their cowls. Otherwise there's going to be more than me that's just a tad miffed. I think it's appalling the way they treat their customers, but anyhow, that's how it is. So this is how I'm going to do this repair, hopefully, of the disastrous cowling that we were given. So I've put some sellotape on here because the epoxy won't stick to it. I've also put a couple of holes in here for clecos just to help hold things in place when I pop the cowling on, so that'll be interesting to see how I sort that out. Over here I have the cowling all set to go. I've scarfed it all down here, and I've just got to clean it now, and then I'm going to start the layups. I've got some peel ply. Just going to do 4 layers initially, and I can add more later. And I'm going to lay it up down on the floor on this plastic. Actually, I've cleaned the floor up as much as I could down here to be able to do it without contaminating everything. And we'll see how it turns out. All right, there's the first 4 layers. I guess we can only just wait and see how it's going to turn out. It's really hot in here today, so it was pretty unpleasant going, but let's see how we go. So the intent is really those first 4 layers, give it something to lay up against, and then I'll add probably another 4 in behind it, and then there'll be 1 or 2 just on here at the front after it's been trimmed, and then I can sort of shape it and bog it and hopefully get rid of it. So yeah, more work than I really needed. Okay, so here's the layup as it stands at the moment. I've just done a really rough trim. It's got to come back further, but now I'll just sand that back again and put another 4 layers on, and I won't bore you with too much more of that because I'm sure you're getting sick of it. I know I am. The interesting thing about this NACA duct here for the intercooler is I was thinking about gluing it on, but somebody sent me a photo the other day of a high wing, and I noticed that it's got cam locks holding it on. So obviously the whole thing is intended to come off, which I find quite interesting. So with a big gap here that sits in the bottom just due to poor forming of the NACA duct, I'll have to do something other than what I was intending to do, since now it's going to be removable. And it makes more sense because I did wonder how it was going to go at the back, how you'd get the intercooler off. So it seems a bit odd to me that you'd just cam lock it here and then the whole thing is, you know, it's got a lot of leverage up this end. I don't know that that's ideal. I might have to stick another cam lock sort of back here or something just to take some of the weight. But anyhow, that's interesting, something a little bit different. So that's something I'll have to deal with. Have to get some more cam lock fasteners in order to do that. So I won't bore you any more with that this week. I'll try and get this video out and keep it short. It's saying 680 hours. It's ticking along, wasting a lot of time. But anyhow, the consensus seemed to be keep the timer going. So that's what I'll do. Catch you next time. Bye.